What is going on, guys? Wonderman Boxing. Today we're going to give our final prediction and our thoughts on the upcoming fight between David Benavidez and Oleksandr Gvozdyk coming up June 15. We are also going to look at their previous fights. Let's start with the Mexican monster David Benavidez. He is 27 years of age with a record of 28-0 and 24 wins coming by way of knockout. His biggest and more noticeable wins in his resume have been Caleb Plant and Demetrius Andrade. What do both of these guys have in common? They are slick boxers with not so much significant power. But David was able to demonstrate that he can beat that style. The Caleb Plant fight, Caleb Plant was putting good work on David Benavidez and was winning the fight, but then he kind of gassed out, and David still had a lot in the tank and was able to beat him up and get the victory. The Andrade fight, Andrade had some good combination in the first couple of rounds, but David's pressure and power was just too much for Demetrius Andrade. Now he's making his debut at 175 pounds versus Oleksandr Gvozdyk. Alexander is 37 years of age. He has 20 wins, only one loss, and 16 wins coming by way of knockout. The only loss in his resume was to Artur Beterbiev, which was a super close fight. It was very competitive. By round 8, the punches landed was 101 to 104. Beterbiev was on top. Not by a lot. It was a very competitive fight. But round 9, that's when Beterbiev stepped on the gas and Gvozdyk gassed out, and Beterbiev stopped him by the 10th round. Now that was back in 2019, guys. I mean, Gvozdyk was coming off of beating Adonis Stevenson, which was a very noticeable win in his resume before Beterbiev. But Alexander, last 3 fights have been against C-level fighters. Let me repeat that. Alexander's last 3 fights are C-level fighters. They're just tune-up fights. They're just fights that you can possibly not even consider a tune-up fight for a big fight. You see what I'm saying? The last time we saw him in the ring was September 30th. I think he was in the Canelo versus Charlo undercard, but he was in the prelim fights, which he KO'd his last opponent, Isaac Rodriguez. Who the hell is that? I don't know. Who knows? But it only took 2 rounds with a straight right hand and just put him down, and he couldn't even get up. The big question is David Benavidez a monster at 175? We already know what he had been doing with his opponents that he has faced at 168. Remember, Benavidez is a big 168. Could it be that he was a bully at 168 and it's going to be different at 175? Or are we going to be continuing to see his dominance at 175? That's my question. I think that Oleksandr Gvozdyk would have a chance against David Benavidez when Gvozdyk was undefeated and he was younger, when he was a world champion in his younger 30s. Now he's 37 years of age, and like I said, guys, his last 3 fights have been against C-level opponents. Benavidez is young, he's hungry, he's 27 years old. He is 10 years younger than Gvozdyk, and he's coming off 2 impressive wins at 168. My prediction for this fight and who I'm betting on, I'm going with David Benavidez. Even though we don't know how much Gvozdyk still has on the tank, David is preparing for the best version of Gvozdyk and not taking him lightly. He needs to impress at 175 is what I'm saying. As far as the betting odds, I'm betting a little bit, a small amount on Oleksandr Gvozdyk. Nothing crazy, but I just been thinking, if there was an upset on June 15, who has a higher chance of pulling an upset? Frank Martin versus Tank or Gvozdyk versus Benavidez? I gotta say Gvozdyk. Remember, guys, Benavidez has tasted the canvas before in his career, so anything could happen. But Benavidez should win this fight and keep the hopes alive of a showdown between him and Canelo Alvarez for September of this year. Share your thoughts. Don't forget to sub. Let's stay connected. Benavidez or Oleksandr Gvozdyk? Who wins, guys? You guys let me know. Peace.